Perfect versus real. Imagine that you go to holiday somewhere nice. You spend an amazing week having rest and chilling out by the beach. Weather is great, and you go do a couple activities during that week, riding quads and enjoying diving. You can generally say that you had a perfect holiday. On the other hand, someone else who went on the same holiday, staying in the same hotel, at the same time, could say that that holiday was rubbish because the room was too small for them, and the food served in the hotel was not up to their expectations, and the weather was too hot for them, so they really couldn't enjoy any activities on holiday. This is because everyone sets their level of perfection by themselves. I can't say that anybody in this situation is right or wrong, because what's perfect for one person can be disappointing for the other person. There is no perfect thing. All the things in the world are real, but you can make them perfect in your mind if you want to. As human beings, we always strive for perfection. But even if it sounds only about being positive and acting perfect, I would like to share 2 ideas from myself that I feel valuable, and I hope you will learn from these ideas. First idea: trying to be perfect will hold you back. If you are an artist and you have to design a new logo for a company, you know how hard it is to complete the job if you're trying to be perfect, because you can always go back, change something, and make it look better than before. And you can make changes pretty much an unlimited amount of times. I used to be a perfectionist for a very long time. And when you are a perfectionist, you're trying to be perfect everywhere with everything you do. As we all know, that when you try to do everything perfectly, we soon become exhausted because there's always so much to do just to finish things till perfection. The area where I felt the most was my online projects. When I had to complete tasks on my project, I would complete them, but still leaving them on my to-do list just to read them over again later. Then I would come back to them later and spend some more time to work on them. And sometimes I would do some more research on the topic before I could complete the task. This led me to piles and piles of tasks and feeling that things were never finished. What really helped me was realizing that things in the world are not perfect, but real. In the real world, everyone makes mistakes and then corrects them, and there's nothing wrong with that. By accepting the world as real, I instantly started to clear my never-ending to-do lists and started to feel much better because things were getting done. I realized that it's okay to send email with just one line to your partners, and actually sometimes it's even better because you're getting straight to the point, where before I would spend an unreasonable amount of time to prepare a detailed email. It is absolutely fine not to complete your second most important task today if your most important task will take all your time. Sometimes it's okay to not help everyone and say, "Sorry, I will not have time for that." These things are happening every day, and if I wanted to do them all and do them perfect, I would never see the daylight and never sleep. Second idea: expecting perfect will create disappointment. Remember that time when you bought a bag of oranges and they were sweet and juicy? And then you did the same the week after and they were just okay. They were not bad, but not as good as the first time. There's a great chance that you felt disappointed. This happened because you created perfect expectations compared to what experience you had before. The big problem I had was because I was trying to be perfect. I was expecting perfection from my team as well. And as there is no such thing as perfection, I was expecting the impossible. I would be picking on tiny details about the job that completely didn't have any influence on the job in general. What was happening was that I was losing focus from what's actually needing to be done. Sometimes my colleague would complete the task, and when we discussed it, I would say that task is not completed. But when asked what else needs to be done, I wouldn't know. This was one of the indicators to me that something was not right. At the same time, when I slowly stopped to be perfect by myself, I started to not expect perfect from my team, corporate partners, and the rest of the world. The results were extraordinary. It was such a relief for me and my team. My team members were more creative than ever before when working on new tasks, and I could focus much better on the main things that need to be done. A lot of my work involves working with programmers, and we were struggling with our cooperation due to the very fact of expecting perfect results on the first attempt. And now I know that I was fooling myself, because that is not how system development works. Unless you've done exactly the same thing before, then you know all the underwater stones. The system needs to be developed, tested, and improved until it does the planned function. I also get my programmer involved when we design documentation for the intended system to make sure that we don't describe something silly that will take years to develop when we were planning to integrate it in a few months' time. This approach builds better team relationships, and as a team, we achieve more. Be real instead of perfect. I'm not saying that you should aim lower because there is no perfect things. I'm saying think big and dream big. But when the things don't work out perfect, then don't give up. Being real has advantages like being more relaxed and helping you stay focused on your most important things. And remember that you are in charge of creating perfect and being perfect. Just don't go over the top. I recently came across my old paintings from primary school. When I painted them, I thought they were perfect. But now, when I was looking at them many years later, I see smudges and distorted lines all over. I can't understand what was so good about the painting that I thought was perfect. And the answer is that perfect is always changing. And perfect is everything you make perfect in your mind. I really hope that these two main ideas about being perfect and expecting perfect will save you time and disappointment, where you can look at things and say, this is not perfect, but it's real, and we can always improve if we want to. If you have any questions about areas of life where you're struggling or want to make improvements, please tell me in the comments below, or write to me at Facebook or Twitter, and I'll make a video about how best to approach it.